Hola amigos y amigas, you are now with Jocelyn, and as always, I'm so grateful you are here. Thank you for bringing me into your present moment. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. You already know all the goodness we're going to be getting into in this video, and if you are new here, welcome. If you enjoy spirituality, self-development, lifestyle, journaling, then make sure to click subscribe and you won't miss out on any of my weekly videos. And you'll also be joining this growing community. Now, in this video, I'm really excited because we're going to be getting into 8 journaling prompts for this upcoming new moon in Libra that we have taking place on October 6th, 2021. And all of these prompts are directly inspired by the energy of this new moon. So you'll be getting some insight of what the energy is like right now under this new moon. So if you want to grab some writing materials, some tea, get yourself comfortable so you can take notes, go ahead and do that. And I'm also really excited to share that I am going to be hosting a virtual workshop on the evening of this new moon where I'm going to be guiding you through some prompts and exercises, and we'll share space with each other. And we are going to be focusing on getting clear on our desires and making sure that these desires are honoring our worth, honoring our growth. So if that is something you're interested in, I would love for you to register. I would love to share space with you and be so honored to guide you under this new moon. So info on all of that in the description, as well as info on my digital membership community. This workshop is free for my community members, so all that info in the description below. But without further ado, y'all, let's get into these 8 journaling prompts. Which actions that I've taken recently are rooted in love, and which current indecisions are rooted in fear? One of the pieces of advice that I give people who don't know what decision is the right decision to make is to ask yourself which choice is rooted in love and which choice is rooted in fear. I feel like all of our actions, all of our decisions are one of the two, right? And so right now, with all of the changes and transformations and evolutions that we are experiencing internally and externally, we are faced with really confronting whether or not the actions that we're currently taking are really serving us, are really benefiting and contributing to our highest potential, to fulfilling our soul's purpose. And because I know that that is something that you want to align with, it is important that you make decisions that are rooted in love. So I want to hold space for us. I want you to hold space for yourself to acknowledge which decisions you've made recently are rooted in love, and congratulate yourself for that. Celebrate yourself for that. Thank yourself for making those decisions, even if they were scary, but they were rooted in love. You know that that is the right decision to make. Now, you may find yourself currently having some indecisions, right? Not sure which path is the right one to take, which action is the right one to make, and you're stuck in some aspects of your life. So I also want you to hold space for yourself to ask yourself, okay, is there a reason beyond fear to where I can't make this decision, to where I feel stuck in this decision, to where I'm holding myself back from making a decision? Is there something outside of fear that's making me, kind of pause on this, or is it because I'm simply scared? So all of these prompts, y'all, as you know, if you've been watching these videos, are very self-confrontational because I'm such an advocate on confronting yourself, on us holding ourselves accountable, on us increasing our self-awareness. So really be gentle with yourselves and graceful as we journey through these prompts, but let's hold space for really acknowledging where we're rooted in love and where we are rooted in fear. What fear is getting in the way of me surrendering to the unknown, to uncertainty, to the flow of life? I'm sure you have already had this in your mind for almost a couple years now, that you are not in complete control of your life, right? None of us are in complete 100% control of what happens to us. We are in control of how we respond to life. But in this specific prompt, we are really taking note of and confronting the things that are holding us back from surrendering to the flow. Because we have recognized that we don't have complete control, we are awakening to the power of surrender. Not only to the power of surrender, but to the necessity of it, right? If we really want to live a life of ease, we have to be able to surrender to the flow of life, to allow life to unfold as it does. And as we continue to journey through these lunations, through our self-evolution, surrender is really going to continue to come up as a theme throughout all of the karmic cycles that we step into, until we really master being in a state of flow, being okay with not knowing all the answers, right? So let's acknowledge that. Let's hold space for that. And let's ask ourselves, what exactly is holding us back from surrendering, from allowing life to be, to show up as it shows up? And we are going to expand on this prompt a little bit more in the next prompt. Where is my need to get everything done quickly and have all the answers rooted from? I feel like there has been a power dynamic taking place at this time, to where a lot of people feel like they're running out of time, feel like maybe they've gained clarity on their desires, or they know what they want, or they're really just focusing on manifestation and redirecting their life in a new way. And they feel like they need to make it happen all right now. So perhaps you may have been feeling this, to where you really need to make all your ideas happen right now. You need to make all your manifestations happen right now. You feel like you're running out of time. And I also feel like many of us feel this way because time has been different, right? It feels like it's been going so much faster. I will say that when I really am intentional about being in the present moment, those moments where I am fully present, it feels like time is longer. It feels like more spacious. That's a whole other conversation. But I do feel like this fluidity of time that we've been experiencing this year has contributed to us feeling like we're running out of time. But this is also all rooted in a scarcity-based mindset, right? And scarcity-based mindsets are rooted in what? Fear. So let's get into this with our individual selves a little bit more. Where is this rooted from? This necessity to get everything done right now, this necessity to know it all, to have all the answers. Where is that rooted from? And this is a little bit of a shadow work prompt, but these kinds of prompts and confrontations with ourselves are necessary if we want to truly manifest the kind of easeful, joyful, abundant, beautiful, graceful life that we are envisioning for ourselves and we are working towards manifesting. In what aspects of my life have I been developing the courage to be myself in new ways? As I have been mentioning in most of my videos, we are obviously all experiencing self-evolution and transformation at this time, because we are living in a time where much is being dismantled, much is coming to light, much is becoming known, the truth is being uncovered, both about the world around us and the world within ourselves. And it takes courage to confront the truth, doesn't it? I know you know exactly what I mean. And I know that you've also experienced either within yourself or in others to where they're still figuring out where to muster up that courage and have chosen to turn a blind eye to the truth, right? Either to the truth of who they really are, or the truth of what is really going on in the world. A lot of bypassing taking place, if you will. But we're not going to do that here, right? With this community of self-awareness and self-inquiry takes pride in really turning inward and being introspective. And that's honestly one reason why I love doing these videos, because it really attracts people like you who are really investing in themselves and figuring themselves out and getting to know themselves more. And that's just so beautiful. Like, you are so beautiful to me. So thank you for holding space for yourself in this way and doing stuff like this. It's so beautiful. But all that said, it takes courage, doesn't it? And I know that you have been mustering up the courage. You have been more courageous lately in allowing yourself to be more of your true self in new ways. So in what aspects of your life have you had to muster up that courage? Have you been developing that courage? And be specific about what those new ways are. What do I feel called to take risks and perhaps even make sacrifices for? This is a great follow-up prompt to the last prompt. If you did do the last prompt, this one is more so getting you to expand on all the ways in which you feel called to take risks, right? To really continue expanding and transforming and allowing yourself to change. In the last prompt, we touched on developing the courage, right? To essentially return back home to yourself, to be more and more your authentic self in new ways. And this prompt is really getting you to think on what it is that you feel called this season to take risks for. I feel like so many of us are feeling more and more eager and ready and inspired and motivated to change, to finally go after our desires. And this new moon is really going to be bringing that out. It's really going to be gently, pushing you towards really going for your desires, for what it is that you are deeply passionate about, for what it is that lights you up and makes you feel fulfilled and excited about life. We all deserve to experience life in that way, to wake up excited, to experience a new day, to go to bed feeling fulfilled. And that is possible for each and every one of us. So with that said, under this new moon, continuing our self-evolution and these themes of release, we are in the season of fall, of autumn, where naturally we see the themes of release and shedding and letting go taking place in nature. And we are reflections of nature. So we're going to see those themes within ourselves as well. So this prompt is a great prompt, not only for the new moon, but for the season we're in, for the themes we've already been experiencing the past couple of years. So right now in this season of your life, as you're stepping into a new cycle, what do you feel called to take risks for? What do you feel called to make sacrifices for? And I really want you to expand on that, right? Mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, professionally, financially, relationally, conversationally, emotionally, energetically, all of that. Get into all of that. How am I actively choosing to practice self-compassion during this season of my life? So all of the earlier prompts that we touched on really got us to confront ourselves, right? Really got us thinking about our fears, got us thinking about the risks we've been taking, the changes we've been experiencing, what we've had to build up the courage for, and some shadow work that got us thinking about where certain things are rooted from, why we feel the need to rush, why we feel the need to have all the answers. And so with this prompt, it's like, okay, now that you know all of this about yourself, how are you practicing self-compassion? Because change is going to continue to happen in life, right? It is inevitable. You know you're not in control. You are taking risks. You are allowing yourself to evolve. You are discovering new things about yourself, about the world. You are confronting truths. So how are you practicing self-compassion? Because that is so important at this time. And it's something that you need to strengthen, that all of us need to strengthen. Because when we are able to be more compassionate with ourselves, we're able to be compassionate with others, and vice versa. And so, y'all, this is a prompt that I encourage all of us to do, to really get us thinking of the ways where we are practicing self-compassion. And if you are listening to this prompt, or you're beginning to already ask yourself this prompt and you're realizing, I actually haven't been practicing self-compassion, then sit with yourself and ask yourself in what areas of your life you need to practice more compassion towards yourself for, right? Maybe this prompt will get you to realize how hard you've been on yourself. So have that kind of like one-on-one moment with yourself where it's like, all right, self, like, where do you need some more compassion from me? Where do you need me to like really not be so hard on you anymore? So let's have that talk with ourselves. In what ways am I establishing a greater peace and harmony in self? In addition to acknowledging the truth of the fact that we don't have complete control over everything and that change is constant, I feel like many of us have awakened and are awakening to the truth of how important it is to nourish ourselves and to create a system that works for us, right? And we all require a system that is unique to us, that brings us personally balance. What works for me may not work for you. And also acknowledge that as we change, our needs are going to continue changing. And so because we've been realizing the importance of creating that harmony for ourselves, within ourselves, in all aspects of our lives, I really want us to hold space for that truth and acknowledge the ways in which we already have been investing time and energy towards creating that peace, creating that harmony in ourselves. So how is that showing up for you at this time? And again, same thing as I mentioned in the last prompt. If you are listening to this prompt and you're realizing, oh man, I honestly, I've been really hard on myself. I haven't been creating peace and harmony in myself. It's all good. Awareness is the first step towards growth, and you've already showed up here willing to get into these prompts where you knew was going to bring you some self-inquiry. So that's important. That's beautiful. That's something to be proud of. So just keep diving into the truth of yourself. And even though you may feel like, oh my gosh, I have not been practicing self-compassion. Oh my gosh, I have not been establishing a greater peace or harmony in self, I'm sure that you have. Like, really allow yourself some time to sit with these prompts, because I know that you'll realize a thing or two of like, oh my gosh, like, I am grateful for me. I am happy for me and proud of myself because I have been establishing more harmony, or at least I've been trying to figure out what that harmony looks like, what that peace feels like for me. So be graceful again with this prompt and give yourself the time necessary to fully experience this prompt, and really all of these prompts. If I had a conversation with my higher self, what would my higher self tell me I am ready for? So this is very much a visualization prompt that you all know I love to give and create for y'all, because visualization is so important. And with this prompt, I want us to imagine ourselves, right? Sitting down with our higher selves, having a deep, honest conversation, and our higher selves is telling us, this is what you're ready for. And let us remember that our higher selves are rooted in love. Our higher selves are heart-centered. Our higher selves may feel the fear, but they don't allow fear to stop them. Our higher selves are aligned with their highest potential. Our higher selves are fulfilled. They are successful. They are abundant. Our higher selves know what is best for us. Our higher selves have boundaries. Like, really take a moment to really detail your higher self, right? And then have that higher self version of you talk to you, telling you what it is that you're ready for. Because I feel like this is really this practice, this prompt really can be a meditative visualization practice if you allow it to be, to where you are getting in tune with your intuition, right? Our higher selves essentially are our intuition, right? It is the power that is within us that we are uncovering through this self-evolution that we've been experiencing, this journey back home to self that we have been walking. And so what is your higher self telling you you are ready for? And write it all down. And again, don't overthink it. Don't be like, oh my gosh, this is so silly. Like, this is such a big dream, such a big goal. Like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Like, no. Whatever comes to you, write it down. Whatever first comes up to your mind that your higher self is telling you you're ready for, just write it down. Write it down with no judgment. And then afterwards, when you feel like you've let it all out, observe what you've written on the page and see how you feel. And that, my friends, are the 8 journaling prompts for this upcoming Libra new moon that we have taking place on October 6th, 2021. I hope that you all loved these prompts, that you felt called towards at least one of these prompts. And if you did resonate with one or more of them, please let your girl know in the comment section below. I love creating and cultivating community in the comments with y'all and engaging with y'all. So head on over to the comments to let me know which prompts really spoke to you. And again, if you're interested in registering for my virtual workshop that I have taking place on the evening of the new moon, if you are interested in sharing space with me and having me guide you even further towards really just gaining clarity on your desires and making sure your desires really align with your growth and honor your growth and your worthiness, then head on over to the description where I'll have more info on that. Again, it's on October 6th, the evening of the new moon at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Free for community members. More info on that as well in the description. But thank you all so much for tuning in, for bringing me into your present moment, for pressing play, for subscribing, for being here. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye, y'all.